Hey guys, this is Doran, CEO Culture Matters. This is Real Estate Tip of the Week number 12. That's getting harder the more tips we do. So I literally last night was driving to Atlantic City. It was a business partner's 50th birthday. I'm excited. I'm looking through my Audible to see what I should listen to. And I had just bought a book on neuro-linguistic programming. I was excited. I think I had another credit on Audible. Every month I get a credit, and I bought another book on Sapiens. It's about humanity and our evolution and yada, yada, yada. So I'm excited, trying to figure out what to read. And I noticed on my wish list, based on my purchases, it popped up in this book called The 5-Second Rule. And I thought, the 5-second rule, that's like if something drops on the floor, you can eat it or something. And I was like, that sounds stupid. It's kind of funny. We'll go into that in a minute. Well, then someone messaged me on Facebook and said, Jay, you need to read this book. Literally 10 minutes later, it's called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, who's actually, I found out later, the forefront speaker or the most booked female speaker of 2016 or so far. And she's a very, very impressive woman, and actually a mutual friend of one of my mentors, Jen Groover. So anyway, he messaged me this, and I'm like, all right, well, whenever someone, this is something I've done for a long time, gives me advice of a book to read, I immediately just order it because something always good comes out of it. And you can't be afraid or hesitate to learn. And it's funny because that actually ties into what this 5-second rule is. So I'm going to share this with you because this book, in the last 24 hours, already is starting to change my life in a way, or at least clarify some of the things that I've done that have been successful and clarify some of the things that I've done that haven't been. So the catch of the book is the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins was sitting home one night, 3 martinis in, laying in bed, and thinking about how she hated her life at the time, and when you listen to the book, you'll get more of her amazing story and her turnaround. And this commercial went on that was a rocket ship basically taking off, and it was a 5, 4, 3, 2, and was counting down. She thought, I'm just going to get up. Like a light bulb flashed, and she got up. And she ended up turning that into a habit and undoing all her bad habits of putting things off. You know, but procrastination, like Ben Franklin says, is the art of living in our yesterdays, avoiding today and destroying tomorrow. She started this habit of saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just doing something. And it ended up turning into a TED Talk, and it ended up turning in her getting on TED and talking about something else. And at the end of the TED Talk, she brought up the 5-second rule, and that became a big hit. And millions of views later, she's like, people are emailing her saying that they're using this 5-second rule. I literally used it today and got results at it. So that's why I want to talk about it. And what the heck is he going with this in real estate? So 5-second rule is whenever you think you need to do something, if you don't do it within 5 seconds, it probably won't happen. So you count down backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just do it. And she did all the research, has this new book on why neurologically the brain works this way. So how can we apply that into a real estate business? Well, how do we get leads on a shoestring budget when we just got in the business? And maybe we don't know anybody, which is a lot of us when we get in the business. Maybe you're like me and you moved to a new city. You didn't know one soul. How did I make all my friends and actually get deals? I called expired listing for sale by owners and withdrawn listings. These are the hot leads. These are the people that needed to move. These are the people that if you don't look at it as though you're helping them, you're hurting yourself and them. These are the people that, for sale by owners, for example, that only 8% actually sell. When they do sell by themselves, they sell for 25% less. So you not calling them, you're doing them a disservice. These are the people that were expired listing, meaning it just didn't sell because something happened that you don't know because you're not asking the questions because you never call them. So they needed to move to Oregon and they lived in New York and now they can't and they're going to lose equity because they sell later and they drop the price too low. These are the people that need your help that you're not calling because you didn't know about the 5-second rule. Your time block's 8 a.m. You've memorized your script as best you can. It's sitting in front of you. And you're like, all right, I got to make my call. 10 seconds goes by, a minute goes by, and you got to go to the bathroom. Now it's 9 a.m. You haven't made one single phone call. See, when I coach people, we work on overcoming the fear of the phone. And I have these little exercises that we do for a week where they have to make calls and they can only find the decision maker, introduce themselves, tell them why they're calling. And then no matter what they say, they have to form agreement with them, show that they can relate or empathize, and then thank them and have a great day and hang up. And they do that for 100 contacts. And usually what I find is after like 10, they just want to keep going with the script, but they're not allowed to. So that's what I used to use to get people to overcome the fear of the phone, to build that habit. But this 5-second rule, think about it. If your brain tricks itself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you just make the call, and over time it takes 67 to 267 days to form a habit, according to a London study, you make that a habit, that could change your life. So real estate tip number 12 is the 5-second rule. The next time you're going to call for sale by owners, withdrawal listings, expired, whoever it is, sphere of influence, you got to call a buyer back. Maybe you got to follow up with somebody. As soon as you pick up the phone and you want to follow up with them, you think, oh, well, maybe they're busy right now. And guess what? If you don't call them within 5 seconds, you're probably not going to make the call. So think about that next time and say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Also, check out Mel Robbins' book. It's an amazing book. It's on Audible, and I hope this was of value to you guys. You guys have a great day.